Faith community study from the Hartford Seminary. Just some recent stats, 7.5% of churches around the country only have 20% or have 20% diversity in their attending membership. By 2010, this movement has grown. 14.4% of Protestant evangelical churches today. We are on track for 20% diversity, 20% of the churches by the year 2020, which will usher in early adopter stage in this movement. And those are the latest stats. Now, but more than just demographic shifts, nevertheless, churches today are 10 times more segregated in the neighborhoods they're in, and 20 times more segregated than nearby public schools. Surely it breaks the heart of God that so many of our churches across this country are segregated by race and class, and that little has changed in the more than 100 years since it was first observed that 11 o'clock on Sunday morning is the most segregated hour of the week. Brothers and sisters, it should not be so. And beyond all this, one thing I'd say is we have then, because of systemic segregation in the local church, we have a major credibility problem with the gospel. Because an increasingly diverse and cynical society is already no longer finding credible the very message we preach because it's preached from segregated pulpits and pews. You think I'm lying or whatever? Check the, let's see, do I have that stat in there? Oh man, did I take that out? Oh shoot, I got to tell you this one. Between 1990 and 2009, study was done by the Evangelical Covenant Church. Dave Olson, how many of you know Dave Olson, American Church in Crisis? He did statistical data on 200,000 churches in this country between 1990 and 2009. In that period of time, more than 56 million people became American citizens through birth, through legal immigration, 56 million. Guess how many, according to Dave Olson, became active members of a local church? Out of 56 million people in a 20-year period. 446,554 people, less than 1%. And my contention is we have a major credibility problem because we preach the love of God for all people from segregated pulpits and pews. Let me give you a quick illustration. We meet in an old Walmart. Boy, I wish I had time to tell you about that story. How many ever rented 80,000 square feet for $800 a month? Okay, that's how bad it was. You understand what I'm saying? We had to hire animals to trappers to trap the animals, on and on I could go. We're right next door to a Kroger grocery store, one of the early services, and we had this old Walmart, so we have a big glass front across. So it's really great to go to Mosaic. You get your gas tank filled up, you do your shopping, you get your nails done right over there, you buy a little dress, and you go to church, all at the same time in this plaza, right? A couple of women went over to the Kroger, invited an African-American woman over to our church. She came over to the glass doors, and this is what she did. So what do you think she was doing? Every minority in this room knows what she was doing, right? Oh, here's that stat. Magic. I don't even know where it came from. Every minority knows what she's looking to see if someone's like her. So I'm up there preaching, let's say. And I go, God loves all people, and you see flags. Look at all the missions. God loves the world. And we're singing songs about God's love, but all we got is white people, which I'm white and Italian. And that's all we got in there. What could she conclude in her naivete? Well, I guess the God they're talking about, singing about, worshiping, is the God of white people, because I don't see any of my people in there. And what is any different about that today than the Hittites have their gods, the Phoenicians have their gods, the Cyprians have their gods, and we Jews got our God? To an increasingly postmodern, most post-Christian society, see, that's not equating. And someone says, well, come on, Mark, I mean, you know, like when God looks down on the city of Nashville, he sees his church. He sees the wonderful diversity of the church and all that. And what's so big deal? And I'm like, hey, man, that's totally cool if you're trying to save Jesus. Y'all trying to evangelize Jesus? Y'all trying to present a credible witness of God's love for all people to the Father himself? See, God gets that. Who needs it is the woman who did this.